Hi, and welcome to the School Health Educators Podcast, where we discuss health education and how to best teach health ed in the K 12 setting. Hi, welcome to the School Health Educators Podcast. I'm your host, Lori Reichel. Today's episode is focusing on a resource that I just found out about within the past couple of months, and it's called uBEATS. To help explain what this resource is, I've invited two people, Zuzi Greiner and Deanna Ingram, to talk about uBEATS. So before we talk about what uBEATS is about, Zuzi, would you mind saying hi to our audience and introducing yourself to us and tell us a little bit about your background?
For sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Zuzi Greiner, and I am the instructional technologist for the uBEATS program at the University of Nebraska Medical Center. And basically, my job is to create the e-learning modules that we'll discuss throughout this interview. And my background is actually also in education. I was a science education teacher for 4 years. And so this job is perfect for me because I get to continue to apply my science education skills, but just in a different format. So I love all the work that we do here, and I'm so excited to share it with all of the listeners.
Thank you so much, Susie, and thanks for your time today. Deanna Ingram, would you mind saying hello and telling us a little bit about yourself?
Of course. Hello, all listeners. So glad you're tuning in today to hear about uBEATS. So my background, I'm also a educator. I come from a little bit of the elementary world, which is different, but I taught for 5 years in elementary, fourth grade, all 5 years. So I taught all the subjects, and that was really fun at that level. And then took a little bit of a turn and transitioned into high school ESL, specifically SLIFE education for students. And so in that content area, I taught also science and literacy. You wouldn't think that they go together, but they do really well. And so did that for a few years before this opportunity at the University of Nebraska Medical Center became available. And so now my official title is Curriculum and Education Specialist, again for the uBEATS program. And so I get to do a lot of the people interactions and conferencing and consultations with our teachers. I also am really proud of a lot of the curriculum alignment work that we've done, both for Department of Eds throughout the country, as well as individual teachers. And we can discuss that more as we go on, but really proud of that work. And then I still teach just in higher education. And so I'm an adjunct professor at Bellevue University, where I teach in their education department. So super excited to be here and can't wait to share more with you all.
Well, thank you for being here. The both of you, thank you so much. And I want to share with the audience that how we got connected was I had posted on the health science Facebook page because I recognize that some people that teach health science also teach health education, more of the life skills. And then all of a sudden, y'all reached out to me and stuff, and I'm grateful for that. So, would you mind telling us what is this uBEATS that you've referred to? And I'm curious too. I looked it up online and I'll put the link for how people can explore the resource in today's description. But what is uBEATS?
Yeah, I can start. And then I feel like Zuzi will do a great job of explaining our content. So I'll give you the overview of who we are. And that is, I love to share this word first. We are 100% free for educators, free for students. We all know if we hear that word, it makes us very happy as teachers and educators. So we are 100% free thanks to generous donors that have helped in making uBEATS what it is. And so we are a e-learning e-module program in both the science, foundational science content, and also health science educational content. We offer over 90 modules right now in our Canvas library. And so I did just mention Canvas. I don't want that to scare anybody that might be listening, because we will have a lot of teachers that don't use Canvas and our Google Classrooms or whatever learning management tools that they use. But we do house our material on Canvas, but there's no problem if you're not a Canvas user. We will provide you the link to the course. It almost acts like you would a website. You click on that link, and then we provide our teachers with individual logins and passwords for their students. And the reason we do that is because we are COPA compliant, which means we don't receive any student information. Everything that is student related, names, emails, that stays between the teacher and the student. So COPA compliant in all states, anywhere you register from, you don't have to worry about those student privacy laws. I'm trying to think what else. Zuzi, would you want to take over and talk about what content we offer?
For sure. So we currently offer over 90 e-learning modules, and those e-learning modules are designed to be 15 minutes or less. We know as educators that that tends to be the attention span of the students that we tend to work with, and so they're very focused on very small topics. And teachers can utilize these e-modules wherever they see fit within their curriculums. We've had teachers say that they use it as a review activity or sometimes as a homework activity, sometimes as an extension activity. We offer such a broad range of topics that it's hard for us to say specifically where you should use it. It's wherever you think is the most appropriate for where you are in your curriculum. So the modules that we currently offer fall into 7 categories, those being cancer, genetics, pathology and microbiology, pharmacology, public health, careers in healthcare, and academic success. So, like we said, it's a broad range of science and health science topics. So, we have teachers from all different content areas use us, from science teachers to health science teachers to, I'm sure, health teacher educators will love to utilize this resource as well. The nice thing about these modules is they are all audio recorded, so students can listen to the module while looking at the visuals. So they have video components as well, and they're also interactive. So there's going to be interactive review questions so that the students, as they're going through and learning the topic, they can review that information. And then in the end, they have a summative assessment as well. So they have the option to, if the teachers want, they can use that as a grade, or if they just use it as a, however they see fit within their classroom. So a lot of options, a lot of different ways to utilize this resource.
And I did want to add, Lori, I think we mentioned this, but our target audience is for 6th through 12th graders. We've had quite a bit of requests from even higher ed, community colleges, universities that really see the use for this for their foundational education pieces as students are coming into maybe pharmacy technician programs, things like that. But our target audience definitely would be for those 6th through 12th graders and those educators that would be the gatekeepers for those students to utilize uBEATS.
I want to ask, what's the background of this program? Like, why was it even put together?
Yeah, that's a great question. So here in Omaha, on our campus, we have a program which is called the High School Alliance Program. And what this is it's a program that is open to 90 students in the metro area of Omaha that actually get to come in every day, Monday through Friday in the afternoons, and receive content and hands-on education by UNMC faculty and staff. So these are all students. They have to go through a pretty rigorous interview process. They have to do the whole application thing. They go through interviews. Zuzi and I get to sit in on those and meet some of the students. And then if they're accepted, they can pick whatever courses are offered through the High School Alliance program. And this is really to help with that bridge between high school and next steps and that career pathway in health science for our students. And so with only 90 students being able to be accepted into the program due to space and funding and all those pieces, there was a conversation that happened about, well, what about everyone else? What about the other students, even in Omaha, and then especially here in Nebraska, rural Nebraska, that may live 8 hours on the other side of the state and unfortunately don't have that same opportunity. And that's where this digital piece came in. So all of our modules are based off of content that is taught at the High School Alliance program. A lot of the same faculty members that teach those courses in the High School Alliance have actually been our subject matter experts for the content and the modules that uBEATS has created. Now with that, uBEATS has taken off, especially this year. And so what has happened is it started to spread just through our own advocacy, through our partners, things like that, of this resource that we offer. And we had no boundaries that it had to maintain just within Nebraska. And so we would see a teacher maybe in South Dakota start using it, and then maybe one in Missouri. And then it kind of just took off from there because this content we're realizing is extremely needed in our health science, health courses, things like that. And because we are a free resource, then we're able to share this amazing content that we have housed here in Omaha to the rest of the country. So that's kind of how it got started. And then it just continues to grow and develop, both in what we are publishing for content, because now we're having subject matter experts come to us asking, hey, can we partner? Can we do a module in this or this? So those roles have changed a little bit from us having to ask to people coming to us. So it's really exciting to see that growth just in the content that we offer and the users that we are able to provide this to.
And your program is endorsed by the National Consortium for School Science Education, and it's an approved resource of the Omaha STEM Ecosystem Approved Program. I'm looking at your website right now. This is where I'm getting this information from, and it's unmc.edu/elearning/uBEATS. And again, I'll put the link into today's description. Where did the phrase uBEATS come from?
Yeah, so that was before Zuzi and I's time. But what that stands for is we are actually a co-op with the University of Nebraska, Omaha. So that little U stands for UNMC and UNO. Building, I have to think through this every time, building excellence and academics through STEM. And so that STEM piece clearly very heavily on that science piece. And so again, before we came on board, that was the name that was decided and given, but yes, that's what it stands for.
Excellent. And out of curiosity, do families that homeschool their children also use your resource?
Yeah, we have anyone who is in the education space can utilize our resource. When teachers or families or students on their own sign up through our registration form, there's options to select which category they fall into. So mostly it's going to be teachers in schools who register their students, but we also have parents who are homeschooling register their students. We've also had parents who are looking for extra resources for their students who might be interested in going into some sort of healthcare career. They find us and they register their students just to have an extra resource to look at. We have students who individually sign up, who are, again, just looking for something extra, some more information, or just extra resources to see what's out there, sign up on their own. So it's really open to anybody. It's a free resource for anyone who chooses to register.
And as a reminder to our listeners, we've heard it from both people. This is a free resource. And although a lot of us in school health education, we teach to standards which are based on life skills, the decision making, planning and goal setting, self management, advocacy, etc. Some of the topics that are offered here, I would say some students are really interested in, and it would be neat to see students go explore things more, or even for us school health educators to connect with the science educators in our buildings to say, hey, there's this great bunch of modules on cancer and genetics, etc. And I love the link with public health, because eventually I'm going to have some people on the podcast to talk about public health and school health are not the same thing. And there's so many different types of careers out there in health. I think that's really neat. Is there anything that you would like to add to talk about uBEATS or yourself, or anything too you want to show on the website or from a presentation? Because this episode will also be available on the YouTube channel. Is there anything you'd like to share?
Yeah, I also wanted to share that, right now we have 90 modules that we offer, but very soon we have ones that are coming out. And so some of those that would be coming out here soon would be another careers module, which would be careers in nursing. And
Nice.
so that's really, I think a lot of our development will eventually go there because we really want to bring that exposure to students, both in that science, health field, that they might not know is available to them beyond doctor and nurses and things. Even within the nursing field, I learned there were so many pathways you could take. So that module will be coming out soon. We also will have a three modules on resiliency and stress management training. Zuzi did that work with our group at UNMC that specializes in behavioral health. And it's really unique in that it actually offers exercises within the module that you can practice. And so I'm really excited for that one. And then Zuzi's also, I'm just speaking for Zuzi, but there's a lot of material coming out. But she's also working on a middle school and high school drug and alcohol prevention module. So two separate modules that will come out, again, one for middle school, one for high school. So we're always developing. We also, in the back for our health science teachers, have medical terminology that will hopefully be coming out soon. And then, of course, as we expand our careers modules, we would love any suggestions or anything like that. But just for the listeners to know that we are always working on something. Zuzi especially is always working on something, and more new content is coming out soon.
Wonderful.
And I guess another big area that has become extremely popular is our academic success modules. We currently have, I think it's a series of about 7 or 8 academic success modules. And out of all of them, out of all of our 90 modules, this academic success are our most popular. And I think that has to do with, as speaking as a former educator, those skills are really hard to teach to students, or even like find time to integrate to teaching these skills into your curriculum. And so I think a lot of teachers find these modules to be really engaging, and just an interesting way to teach these skills that you might not have either the time or the space in your curriculum to be able to teach these specific skills. And we are actually going to be expanding this module topic as well. We have some new topics coming as well in this specific space. So definitely something to check out is the academic success modules.
I love that you have 2 parts for the growth mindset and the academic success area.
As a way of building, obviously our whole goal here is to have a pipeline just to get students interested in health and health science careers in general. And a part of that is being able to have these skills, such as growth mindset and having these tangible skills of how to prepare for a test or how to prepare for class. And so this is one of the ways that we are trying to help build that skill for students. And kind of have a holistic perspective on how to help students throughout their journey, hopefully into some sort of health careers.
Wonderful. Thank you. And I also I have on my screen, I have an overview of the modules, and I see that there's some modules in here for vaping prevention, which I know a lot of us in the health education classroom, we do spend time on that, as well as there might be reminders for the sexual reproductive health area. I know we don't do so much science of that in health class, maybe a review, yet it seems like you have a lot of great resources here for students.
Yeah, and also with uBEATS, we always try to have content to back up other content. So, our hope would be that if you are doing a certain module in public health, that maybe you'll hear something that then would spark you to go into our pathology, microbiology content area and find a module to use there. So we do try to, especially with those career ones as well, we always try to have that content to really support those careers and things like that we offer as well. So that's the hope, is that you'll cycle back around, hear something that interests you, and then have students, teachers do those first or do it as a whole group, all different kinds of ways you can use uBEATS there.
And one thing that I'd like to mention, so we do have 90 modules, and that can be very overwhelming for a teacher, especially if you're looking for something specific, or you just don't have time to look through all of these modules. So one thing that has really gotten very popular is Deanna has been offering that curriculum alignment piece. So teachers or school districts or even state Department of Educations have reached out to her and basically said, here's what our teachers are teaching. Can you tell us which modules would fit in where? And she will actually provide that service to those teachers or school districts or departments of ed. And that is a huge time saver for teachers. Just being able to look at, okay, here's what I'm teaching, and here's exactly the modules that fit in there. And then again, teachers can figure out where exactly within that lesson that module fits. But that is a huge, huge help that Deanna is able to provide to teachers.
I can also talk about that just a little bit. You had mentioned, Lori, that we are endorsed by the National Consortium for Health Science Education. And the reason that we received that endorsement is actually because of the alignment work that uBEATS and NCHSE did together to crosswalk all of the national health science standards to uBEATS. So this was a really great starting point for us through these requests that have come in to have those all verified, all of those to on NCHSC's side to say, yes, exactly, spot on, this module covers this. We also do that here within our state in Nebraska. We recently did this with the Pharmacy Technician Certification Board. And so what that looked like is I got all of those pharmacy tech standards, and there is a lot of them, but happy to do that work if they're listening. But all of those pharmacy technician standards, and then just took the time to go through, as Zuzi said, and align what module fits where. So in the health education world, I know there's health education standards and things like that. Always happy to do that if teachers would find that helpful for implementation of uBEATS in their classroom.
Wonderful. And what a great time for me to ask, how can people get in contact with you? And again, I can put information in today's description, but would you tell us, please?
Yeah, so we have a couple different outlets that listeners can find us. The first one you've already mentioned, Lori, which is our website. And so there's multiple links throughout the website of where you can email us. And that email would be ubeats, UBEATS at unmc.edu. Again, if you visit the website, you'll find multiple links throughout the website for email. We also are on social media, so you can follow us on Twitter. You can also follow us on Instagram, and we are ubeats_STEM. So, and you'll see we have our logo. We have a pretty decent amount of posts that we have, so you'll know it's us when you get there. And then, of course, as we mentioned, the website is always a great place to find answers to questions. If you need us in email, our contacts are there as well, and also where you would go to register.
Zuzi, did you want to add anything?
No, I guess the only thing with the registration form, that registration form is on our website. So if you are interested and would like to register either yourself, your students, or if you are homeschooling, registering your children, that is where you would find the form. So on our website, there is a section that says sign up for uBEATS, and all you have to do is fill out that form, fill out all of that information, and then you will receive an email from Deanna with instructions on how to get logged in. It's a very, very simple process.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much, the both of you, Deanna and Zuzi, for going over uBEATS today. I thank you so much for being here and explaining about this wonderful resource. I'm actually thinking of people I want to connect with to tell them, check this out. I'm thinking of somebody that works at a charter school and a couple of science educators I know. So thanks for providing this wonderful resource. And again, for the listeners, if you'd like to find out more, please go to the uBEATS website, as well as the Twitter or X and Instagram social media sites. And a reminder for you, our listeners, remember to follow this podcast on your favorite podcast platform and to check out the schoolhealtheducators.org website. I have to make sure I link in some stuff for uBEATS. I have to do that. That's a project I'll be working on this summer. And remember, folks, that you make a difference. You matter. Thank you for doing what you do. Stay well. And would you like to say goodbye to our listeners, Deanna and Zuzi?
Of course, thank you all so much for listening. We really hope to see your name come through our website, our registration site, and can't wait to learn and grow with you all. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much, Lori. Thank you for having us on.
Thank you both very much and enjoy your day. Thank you.